and welcome to episode 50 of Sequel Pitch. Yes, we are 50 episodes old now.
Way.
We are 50. Good Lord. And boy, do we have a celebration movie for you. Joining me as ever is a man that, just like Simple Plan, are the gods of rock. He is the god of sequels. It's Drew Toynbee. Say hello.
Hello there.
Say hello.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
Being compared to Simple Plan.
Wow.
I'm going to get this little bit of trivia out of the way, right? My first ever live gig that wasn't a classical music concert that one of my parents took me to was Simple Plan when I was 16 years old. And I was 16 years old in the year this movie came out, at the height of their apparent fame. Holy shit.
Wow.
What are you talking about height? They've reached loftier goals. They've played on top of Mount Everest. What's wrong with you?
They're still going as well. Like, their most recent album has got really good reviews. I'm going to check it out. Anyway, sorry, Ross.
It takes them a while to get an album recorded when they're all working at Walmart as greeters, but every once in a while, they could get together. Bang out a real banger, you know?
Just on their lunch break, they can knock out a tune, yeah.
And it's all bilingual because they're French Canadian too, eh? Bonjour, je m'appelle Simple Plan. Joie de vivre. Socle bleu.
And with him, I'm only doing the intros to the people first, right? And with him is a man that, just like the girls are waiting for a dog to shit, we're always waiting for him to shit out a sequel idea. It's Andy Henry.
Hey,
Andy.
My bit of trivia is I have no idea who Simple Plan is, but I also have a license plate that says "Too Cool for School."
Yeah.
And lastly is a man that appears in this podcast nowadays less than Dr. Ryan. It's Matthew Rushton.
I don't have trivia.
I
have twins. Hey, trivia!
Yay, you do have twins.
Oh my god, you're the dad in this movie. If you were just a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, doctor.
Yeah,
Matt.
Matt, in 17 years' time, the girls are going to be be having a trip to London to get scholarships and probably try and get into a Simple Plan video shoot.
You have two girls?
No, they won't.
Great response to that.
No, they won't.
Yes, Dave. He has two twin girls recently.
As opposed to one twin girl, which would be tragic.
Two twin girls.
We just don't talk about the other one.
Parent.
Well, we did have twins, but then
We picked our favourite, got rid of the other.
I had to go and rent that wood chipper, and Jesus Christ, man. Kids are really... You know, if it's one thing I want to tell you about kids, it's that they are really, really, really into checking things out, and you got to take... You got a lot of explaining and a lot of cleaning to do.
Yeah.
Now,
we don't have enough trees. No wood chipper in my garden.
Now, in case you didn't know from the sexy voice that is not us, we have a special guest with us today. It's Dave, one half of the Disturbingly Pragmatic podcast, whose illustrious career includes work in the film industry. Now, little birdie, Dave, told me that you worked on this film. Tell our listeners a bit about yourself. Go on.
I did, but I'm not just a film person. I'm also a funeral director. I actually have a funeral directing. I can embalm people. If there's an emergency embalming that needs doing, I will do a shitty job of it because I haven't done it in 25 years. But still, I'll do it.
You can set up
Grandma
some chairs
will look horrible.
and
Absolutely.
make everything look nice in a jiffy.
Shit, that's not supposed to spurt out there.
So if any of our listeners need an embalmer, Dave is available. How many days a week? 7 days?
Actually, 0. They're literally, if you need an embalmer, go get an actual embalmer. I haven't embalmed since 1998, so it would turn out bad. It would turn out bad. It's not riding a bike. It's not riding a bike. It's a dead body, and sometimes the neck gets really, really engorged with fluid. So anyway,
not if they go through a wood chipper. Not if they go through a wood chipper, you're fine.
That's not embalming. That's
easier to clean up, you see.
That's mopping up.
Yeah.
Well, no, Paul, my partner in crime is Paul, my partner of. So we've been together since 2006, on and off, and mostly on because we moved in 2009. So he's my other half, and we just basically do a podcast about everything that's going on. We talk about Britain, too.
Hey.
We do.
What
Which do you
else
guys
do you
prefer?
Very, very fun
UK,
podcast.
Shunned from the EU. Which ones do you guys prefer?
The unwanted twin.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't the Brexit that I voted for. I just voted for the brown people not to come here, not for me not to be able to get away on my holiday. £85. £85 I got to put through that. I got to be able to spend 85 quid to go to Spain. Are you out of your fucking mind? Jesus Christ. It's like Piccadilly Circus in here.
Listen, we got it. We got to deal with it. Let's just move on. All right, come on.
Just move on. That's right.
Stop
Forget
whinging.
Emma
Got to do.
Just move
There's
on.
nothing to be done.
Blame everyone
just
else.
move
And move on.
Keep calm. Carry on.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't mean
exactly.
to take us so far off of the wonderful movie that we're here to discuss. So, New York Minute, huh? You know what the great thing about me being on your podcast is? All four of you had to watch New York Minute.
This is true.
Yeah.
We did.
The moment I can push somebody to watch this movie. And by the way, as I said before, I just watched this movie 6 months ago for the first time, and I watched it again earlier today. My partner had to take the guns out of the house so that we don't have any accidents after watching this movie. I'm kidding. We're not the States. I don't have guns, but honestly, it brings back a lot of memories. I will say this at the top. I had a lot of fun working on this movie. The people that I worked with, most of them, fantastic people, wonderful people. And when you work on a movie, you have to be there basically at least 12 hours a day, but mostly 14, 15, 16 hours a day. This movie was particularly bad with that we had lots of very long days because we were putting out what we all thought was cinematic history, akin to Orson Welles' great. It's just, this is such a piece of, this is what I like to call a quilt of a movie where they take ideas from 87,000 different movies and they plop it into this, and it makes a shepherd's pie of a movie.
Yeah.
And shepherd's pie is awful. It's just awful. I love all the ingredients that went into the shepherd's pie, but the moment you get all those ingredients in the shepherd's pie and it's shepherd's pie, it's like, what is this horse shit? This is this movie.
It's like shepherd's pie and Friends.
Yeah. So,
You'll get more hate probably
know.
for shepherd's pie than you will Brexit. If people listen to this podcast.
That's okay. What are you guys going to do? Come over here? You can barely leave your own country into Europe. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shit. Anyway, sorry. Let's not talk about the EU thing. Let's go on with the movie.
Yeah,
right.
Sorry, Ross.
So,
sorry, Ross.
Order.
We're holding you up.
Stop talking.
Order.
Right. Order.
That guy was fantastic. Wasn't he with his ties
John
and shit?
Burkow.
That guy was awesome.
He was great.
Yeah. So we are doing a New York Minute, the Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movie of sorts. Their first ever cinema release movie after their direct-to-DVD movies. Their first and last.
First and last. I was going to say and last. Don't ever forget the and last.
They thought, no, let's not do this again.
I'm sure they thought it, not the people who put up the money where they lost millions of dollars on this piece of shit. It was the Olsen Twins' creative decision.
They decided to take a back step. It was going to be like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they thought, no, let's not carry on.
We're taking a break from acting to go to NYU.
Yeah. So, in case you didn't know, and you didn't watch this movie, I don't blame you. We do a 60-second synopsis. So I'm going to try and put all the weird bits in it if I can, but I may miss some out. So here we go. 17-year-old twin sisters Jane and Roxy Ryan are polar opposites and never see eye to eye after their mother's death. They live with their father. The two journey into New York City so Jane can deliver a speech for a prestigious college scholarship. Jesus. And Roxy can hand her band's demo tape to Simple Plan, who are in town to shoot a music video. Jane and Roxy board the train into New York, but are thrown off after Roxy is found without a ticket. While they are waiting, a chip device is mistakenly planted in Roxy's bag. Benny Bong, the racist man, or Benny Bang, sorry, Benny Bang, the racist man.
Benny Bang, the racist man.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Racist? What?
Benny Bang, the racist man, who was going to receive the device, offers Roxy a limousine ride for some reason in order to steal it, maybe, perhaps. She accepts, dragging Jane along. He locks them inside, but then forgets to put the sunroof, close the sunroof, and they escape into the subway.
Well. Like, immediately they escape.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Max Lomax, the only good thing about this movie, an overzealous truant officer, is on the hunt for Roxy. Jane realizes that she's left her day planner in the limo, which has her money and the prompt cards for her speech. They break into a hotel for some reason to have a shower, and a dog eats a microchip. Benny rings them and offers to exchange the chip for the day planner. They go to meet Benny, but he tries to attack them, and they run away, and they fall into the sewers for some reason. Then they end up at a beauty salon where they receive makeovers with loads of dressing up montages. Who knows how long the day is in New York? Is it a minute or is it 15 hours? Who knows? When is this speech supposed to be?
The speech is at 3:00. I just have to interject. And you thought that Andy Richter doing a fake Chinese accent was bad, and then you have the girls like in the most racially insensitive sequence I've ever seen on film.
Big Cheryl's House of Bling? What's wrong with you? That's inspired writing. Maybe you British people aren't really attuned to the inspired writing of America. Okay? Because that scene was comic fucking brilliant. And how dare you? How dare you?
Max hunts them down, and they escape in a cab, and they have an argument, and they split up. Then Jane goes to meet Benny, who takes her to his mother, the head of a DVD and CD pirating operation that is earns millions and millions of dollars, apparently.
Yeah. In the days of Napster, by the way.
Yeah. just pleading with the people that go to see this movie to pirate it instead of going to the cinema to watch it. Roxy finds Benny's limo, retrieves Jane's day planner, and rushes to the building where Jane will give her speech and poses as her for it. Jane eventually turns up, then Max and Benny arrive. Benny's illegal doings are exposed, and he is arrested by Max, even though he's not a cop. The judge for the scholarship says, "Hey, I saw your speech on the floor. I bet it was going to be really cool," and accepts the college scholarship. Months later, Roxy is in the studio recording with all the rest of the gang, and they all live happily after.
That's pretty much it, except for the mom's dead.
Yes, the mom is dead.
The mom is still dead at the end of the movie, just so you know. So I don't know why any of you are laughing or having a good time. Your mother's dead.
Just wait to the sequels.
There's also
she's got to come back in one of them. Come on.
There's also some romance as well in it, but
some random boys.
Drew Pinsky behind the scenes.
Is there?
Yeah,
like that. That was like
super nice guy.
Jared
Padalecki, super nice guy. No, he was, and he brought his dog up. And how can you hate somebody who brings their dog with them? You know, like it was a beautiful dog, nice. Probably dead now, but that's okay. He got another one, I'm sure. But and the other one was nice too. I can't remember his name, but his forehead screams 32. That's all I'm saying. When you look at his
forehead,
he does.
His forehead
much
screams
older.
32. He looks much older than the 17-year-old child that he's ripped the skirt off of.
Yeah.
I don't even know he had a name. I thought it was just blonde guy that crashes into people.
He's a sexy blonde guy. I think that was his character name, Sexy Blonde Guy.
They were like, "You're Mike Messenger, Mike Messenger. I take it. I'm Mike. What's up?"
Right. Firstly, let's talk. Dave, you worked on this movie.
I did.
Yeah?
I did.
Tell the audience if you want to, what you did, and tell us any.
Well, I worked
fun
in the
stories.
production office. I worked in the production office as one of the people there that made sure that all the paperwork went through and all the travel went through okay and all this sort of stuff. It was a very interesting position on this one because it was an Olsen Twins. I've never been an Olsen Twins person because if I were, I'd be a pedophile, and that's not a good thing. Thank God I'm gay, so whatever. But honest to goodness, like this production office was so weird. It was the first production office I'd ever worked in where we had to be sort of secretive about stuff because the Olsen Twins have adult stalkers who show up to the production office going, "Are the Olsen Twins here?
Oh,
really?
No.
Where are the girls? Can I see the Olsen Twins?" And every time that happened, you'd have to say, "I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. This is
Olsen
a completely different movie than that." Who? Who? But yeah, it was creepy. The Olsen Twins were lovely people, but there's a creepiness about them because they've been beyond stars since they were zygotes. And they have people who are adults looking to basically be perverts. And this was at a time when they had a countdown online for when the Olsen Twins were going to turn 18.
Oh man.
Oh.
And it's such a good thing.
And it doesn't help that in the movie they're sexualized, like they are sexualized
to a
in this
bizarre
movie.
amount.
Yeah.
Like
this is a
right
movie
off the bat, you got a nude scene.
Yeah. And a shower scene and this movie is clearly from like tone and events happening is aimed at their like tween fans, female tween fans, and just here's a vehicle for them to watch the twins do zany things and for Simple Plan to get some exposure, and then they're just
45-year-old men,
and exactly, and
they got
for
to put
their
something
dads.
in for the boyfriends, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's even creepier, isn't it?
Too much.
Sorry.
It's trying.
Sorry.
It's
you want to see that film again, girls? Let's go see it again.
Oh, Andy,
yeah.
no.
Oh shit. That should be a punishment. Actually, I think that should be a punishment instead of life in prison. You have 5 years of having to watch this movie on loop, 24/7, and you can't do anything about it. Like you're in a room. There's nothing in the room except for you, a television, and
oh my god, it's one of them really crackly VHSs that skips every
VHS
scene.
Tape version of
so
it.
you don't even get the pleasure of getting your dirty pedophilic kicks.
Nope, you can't. There are no crystal clear pauses on this one at all. It's like watching porn back in 1984 on the TV, through squiggly lines. None of you will know that experience, but trust me, it was fun.
Oh no,
Andy, you do? You know that experience?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Certain films probably when I was younger, like videos, just getting that right time.
Let's not.
Yeah.
All right, look, I don't want to have to edit too much of this, guys. Come on now. Come on.
But no, it was an interesting film. But 2003 was the year that we filmed it, and it was a really bad year for film for some reason. There was a bunch of stuff going on, not only in Toronto, but in Los Angeles and New York. Like there was a whole bunch of negative film productions going on for some reason. So it was a really weird summer. We also had in that summer the blackout of 2003 on the Eastern Seaboard because something in Ohio went wrong at some electrical converter, and it basically took out the electricity from Ohio all the way up into Ontario. So we basically shut down filming one day because we had no power to film. So it was just, there were so many weird things that went on that summer. And again, just it's really unnerving having an adult person come into an office and go, "Where are the Olsen Twins?" Like that, to me, I'm like, ugh. And when you met the Olsen Twins, they're like 4'3" or whatever the hell, like they're little people with Ugg boots on, and they have like this weird, like I'm dressing in like big things and big hats and like to try. I don't know what the deal is with them. They were pleasant people, but odd. If you had to put a word on it, odd. And I think it's just because they've lived their entire lives with adult males going, "Where are the Olsen?" We had the security guards for them, like an actual security team for them at all times. It was crazy.
I was going to ask, do they have like a big entourage or anything when they turned up in the mornings and left, or was it just like a chaperone and?
No, in fact, Jill Zimmerman, who was one of the executive producers, or she was one of the co-producers, that's what it was, that she had the title of. She was their nanny growing up. So she was basically there and part of the family type of thing. So it was like her and the girls stayed in the one room there, or the big suite, the whatever suite that we had them at the hotel there. But it's like no entourage, no, like they didn't want to be treated, like with kid gloves or anything like that. They just came into the production office a few times, and then they would be in an office with each other.
Yeah.
And they'd sort of just be alone. And it's a very twins thing. Like, I'm not a twin, so I don't know what twins do together, but to me, it seemed like they were very, very close twins. And since they'd had this upbringing from the time that they were, again, zygotes to now, you can just see how that affected their entire lives. I wouldn't want to have their lives if you paid me as much money as they actually have. Wouldn't want to have that life. No way, shape, or form.
I've got a question, Dave, because I didn't realize in the lead up to this episode, I only checked this out today. It was made by the Olsen Twins production company. And so, like, how do you know how much creative control or creative input they had, or they wanted to have, or anything? Or
they had quite a bit of creative control because, again, it was Denise DeNovi Productions and Dual Star Entertainment that, when Warner Brothers was the distributing and everything. But it's they had a lot of creative control over things, but it was basically done through their producer guy, Robert. He's the guy in the capri pants that I was talking to you about. He was a weird guy. Yeah, my favorite person. I love guys who wear capri pants. It's a real good look. I'd like to wear some shorts, but I really feel like the upper part of my leg here and right beneath the calf, that's kind of chilly. So if I could have a little bit extra capri pants, like it's so. I don't know why I put a British accent on, poor British accent on him, but I felt like
it worked.
It played. They did have a lot of creative input into it, but I think that there was so much money thrown at this thing. And when you read the script, I read the script immediately because that's what you do when you're working on something. I just read it immediately, and I was like, "Wow, this is a piece of shit." Oh my God, this is garbage. Oh, that's from this movie. Oh, that's from this movie. That's from this movie. That was the original script. That was before they had all of the script revisions and things like that come in, because every day there'd be script revision or two at least. And in production, you use a color system when you're dealing with revisions because you have different schedules that they put out, the call sheets, things like that. But so you basically go white, pink, blue, green, yellow, goldenrod. And then if you repeat it, it goes double white, double pink, double blue, double, and then it goes triple. And then that way you know what you're on. I can't remember what we were at with the script revisions by the end, but it was up there. And the guy with the capri pants, I told you this story, where he basically had a yacht off Catalina Island down near Los Angeles. And I remember having to fax 130 pages to his boat in 2003 using 2003 cell technology and fax technology. And this was late at night too. And I was the only one there because he needed his goddamn script pages, capri pant Rob. And anyway, needless to say, I didn't have a lot of fun with those types because those types of people they're just assholes no matter which way you shake it. They're complete dicks. But Robert's a great example of that, I'll tell you. Capri pants. Honest Dave, to God. I'm a gay man. I have never put a capri pant on my leg in my life. Jesus.
I've got a question.
Yes.
When you read it, you said obviously you were like, this is shit.
Yeah.
Did everyone else in the office and everyone think it was quite bad as well?
It's an unspoken thing that when you're working on something, and most of the stuff at the time that filmed up here was stuff from the States that had a lower budget or something so they could make the money stretch. And they did that with this too. I thought it was a $50 million budget. Apparently it was a $30 million, but that's American. So at the time it could have been 500 million Canadian. I don't know. But the fact is, when you're working on something like this, it becomes part of your life and you work with these people and they become part of your sort of family for X number of months that you're doing this. And to avoid working in a negative, toxic, horrible environment where every day you walk in going, what the fuck am I Why am I working on this? This is the biggest, like, devoid of any artistic merit whatsoever. It is like, if you take the budget of this and put it onto indie films, we could make maybe 10 really good indie films. But instead, we're making this horrible Ferris Bueller's Day Off clone. Like, so no, you don't really discuss it. People tend to get quiet about the fact that they want their name to be Alan Smithy in the credits. But it's pretty much, once you sign on to a project, you're pretty much on the project until the end, whatever. And you can have your own views in it, but at the end of the day, it's a paycheck. And I had a lot of fun with a lot of the people in that office, and we all did. And even though it was a pretty rough shoot, and it did take a long time, and there's a lot of hours and things that I will never, ever see again. But I can die happy knowing that this was the result.
Nice. Well, I've got... we'll go round and we'll talk about what everyone thought, like, briefly. Like, I made 6 notes in this when I watched it, and all of the... So my favorite bit was the man who gets punched on the train in the toilet, leaves without his trousers, just walks off without his trousers. And then again, and then later on, he leaves without his briefcase as well. He just leaves with his brief. It was like, where's that gone?
He's not a good businessman.
There's no door on the trains as well. Like, they just get on. No doors. She throws the dog away.
You're really into that whole train station aspect of this movie.
Yeah, I want a realistic train. That's what I want to see. Realistic train. I want a train simulator film. That's what I want. When she throws the dog away, when she stage dives off the model dog, she just throws it away.
No, that was the real dog the entire time. When it went out that window, real dog. It's a funny fact. We went through about 6 or 7 of those dogs during the shoot.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Aww.
God damn it, another one's dead. Jesus.
Get out another one. Come on.
At one point, James is like a different, like a Labrador or something, just for a quick shot. Just that's all we had at the time. And goes back to the poodle, whatever it was.
No,
and
it's
on
a
the dog.
Chinese crested something. I don't know what the name of the dog is, but it's a Chinese crested something, which fits with the racism of this film. So.
It does, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On theme.
On the dog, I love the bits where it like does suggestive ooh, like when she's in her towel, and in the bin it goes oh. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Who can resist? That's Ashley Olsen there, damn it. Without the towel, who can resist?
Even dogs fancy her. Like, come on.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Right. Drew.
You don't mind if I put my cold nose somewhere, do you?
Drew, you hated this movie. Tell us why you hated this movie.
Yeah, I really, really hated it. I completely agree. I completely agree with Was. There we go. No, right, I'm going to...
Oh, here we go. Andy Richter, when did you show up?
Yeah, I completely
No,
agree
don't edit
with
that
Ross.
out. That was perfect. That was a perfect impression of Andy Richter in that movie.
It was pretty close. Like, I was flabbergasted when he started doing that accent, and I was like, oh, is this guy, like, is the joke going to be that he's doing this as a disguise and he's an idiot? It's like, oh no, it's just that's his accent for the whole movie.
To knock it off.
Yeah, and then
Ma Bang, his adopted mother.
Oh yeah,
Ma Bang, fuck
Ma
Bang,
Ma Bang.
Hell.
Woo!
And like the fact that Jane, like the tone deafness, especially now watching it through a now lens of Jane being a young fucking Republican with a George Bush bobblehead. Like immediately, just like if
a picture
if
of
this
Arnie.
movie, and it just feels like, oh, it's is this trying to indoctrinate their fans, or is it just trying to piss future me off? Like, good lord. Eugene Levy shows up, has a scene with but Jack Osborne. Jack Osborne is there.
Jack Osborne
twice.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
And being terrible.
Couldn't act couldn't
He
act.
really
There's
can't.
no
Why?
acting.
Yeah.
Why? Well, they must have been
Because
friends with him.
he was
They can't-
popular
but-
at that time.
He was popular at the time. That was the whole thing. They
Really?
tried to get. You know what the funny thing about filming these types of films too is that you often will find somewhere a wish list for the actors that we could get for certain roles, and usually this wish list is so ridiculously like, let's get Tom Cruise for Lomax. You know he'd be great for this part? Tom Cruise. He'd be great for this movie. Like the outside the box thinking of some of these executives who are like, oh yes, let's get I don't know, let's get Queen Latifah to play Big Cheryl. That sounds good.
Oh man, it's
it boggles the mind. But fun fact about that bobblehead, by the way, it vibrated.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That's not a fun fact.
I'm so
yeah.
revolted.
She had another use for Bush.
David.
That's how Popmaster's going around at the end going, has anyone seen this? It's missing. Did someone take her home? Ashley?
Bush v. Bush. That's what it was. Bush v. Bush circa 2003.
Oh man.
I just don't understand Eugene Levy's like character in it. It's so weird. It's just also he's got the
That's
number.
What you're
of
questioning about this movie?
Well, no, like because he's got the number of her. He's like, I'll get her one day. Oh, I'm gonna ring up her dad, and then realize, I can't. If you've got a fucking phone number, just go around her house and go, your daughter.
He's there.
You know where
he's outside their house and watches them fucking leave, and then instead of just following the car, gets out to pick up the fucking flyer. This movie only happens because he's so incompetent at his own job. And then he accepts a bribe at the end. Like, they fully bribe him, and he's like, yep, wicked, I'll take that. I'll just I'm showing my whole ass re-corruption.
Like if you've seen 9 to 5, that's the ending of 9 to 5. They steal from so many movies. He's Jeffrey Jones's character from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
I mean,
pretty
much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as well. Yeah. He was. Oh, sorry, cut out, and you just came back in with Ferris Bueller. I'm guessing you said what I was gonna say.
Well, talk about Ferris Bueller when suddenly they're in the doctor's waiting room there watching the Simple Plan thing, and exactly as this happens in Ferris Bueller, there's the kids on the thing, and there's the dad not looking at it, and the dad looks at the screen. The kids are off the screen.
Or she skipped school, and she's done this a lot, and she's like, I'm so good at it, and I've even got like ways I can print out excuses, and get my dad to fake sign things. But then her big idea is to go and shoot a music video, which would be like perfect evidence for like, oh, there you were that day. No, I wasn't. Yep. Yeah, you were.
Well,
but fucking see you.
To be fair, she wasn't going there to be in the video, but yeah.
Well, she ended up on stage at the end. Even if she didn't jump off, she'd be like,
yeah, that wasn't her express
she would have gone on there,
reason for being there. To be fair, but yeah, it is a dreadful movie. What's the message of this movie? Talk to your siblings more after one of your parents dies. Like, is that it? Is that it?
The mother is the swift one because dad's obviously stupid. All your dreams come true.
Idiot. Yeah. Like, just, it's
and
dreadful.
Drew Pinsky. Why were there no actors available? Dr. Drew Pinsky played the father. I'm like, who the fuck is Drew Pinsky? Because we didn't really have him up in Canada in 2003. Apparently he's big in the States.
That was a mistake.
He's a
good dad,
yeah.
He's a good dad, and he gets his coffee delivered to him without even asking for it, and just opens the door and gets it.
And his preppy daughter adjusts his tie when it doesn't need adjusting in any way, and he thanks her awkwardly. I hate it. I hate it.
What's the worst of Oedipal complex?
I definitely see an awkward morning when you're like, all right.
Yeah.
Dr. Drew Pinsky is so sexy in this movie. Oh, with his haircut. And his acting chops.
I love that she's got like a list. She's got like a database of like all the things that she does, like all the reasons as to why she doesn't go to school. But then I don't understand because she prints something off, gets her dad to sign it, but then gets another piece of paper, traces his signature.
She prints off. It's a permission form for a field trip, so that she can then trace his signature onto the sick note. Yeah. But then her sickness faking process is so
have his signature already?
Why would they know that she's the biggest truant? Like, clearly her methods don't work because they're onto her.
She had the female problems at one point in time.
2 weeks ago.
That was the best one out of all of them.
Use that.
Ooh.
Used it last week.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it would be wrong if I had my period twice in a month, huh?
Because women are robots, and it never ever changes schedule ever, not once.
Matt, as a new dad of twins, what did you feel about this movie?
I feel it's inspiring. I can't wait to sit the girls down to show what not to do in life. It's certainly look after your siblings because don't end up like that. Fuck's sake. I don't really have much to comment on this film. I kind of powered through, speed watched it, stopping at moments of real importance, like the hotel scene. I was really hooked on finding out what happened to that dog. Playing past the dog parcel.
The dog went out the window too.
That.
Yeah, that dog went out the window. It didn't land on the fucking ledge, you liars.
Right?
That dog went out that window and into the next building, and yet they said, "Oh, he's just running across this bloody ledge." Give me an effing break! Yeah. Holy God, the lack of creativity. It's like, and do you know the amount of writers that worked on this? The amount of writers that worked on this, and the seriousness with which they took their contract. Like, so we got to figure out a way to make them be out of toilet waterware. I know. Let's put them into Big Cheryl's House of Bling. And I, honest to God, it hurts. The montage in that, and it even has the stereotypical gay guy.
Yes, I was going to mention that. Like, just that one.
They relegate him to giving the dog the makeover as well. Like,
of course. That's what they did in the 2000s because that's all gay guys.
Absolutely, that's what we were good for. Sass and giving dogs baths. That's pretty much it. That was the gay agenda in the 2000s. I do. Gotta have a montage. Doing a bunch of shit for the movie to progress.
There was such a time scale, and yet they're like, let's just get changed into like 10 different outfits. And when they first entered that, and like Big Show said, go away or whatever, like leave. But don't
get out the back.
She said, don't leave. I can't have anyone go out the front, go out the back. And I was like, and then like the rest of the scene played out, and I was like, I don't know what would have been worse, that one line where she was just like, no, honey, you go out the back because no one's leaving my store like that, or the atrociousness that followed afterwards.
I think the atrociousness that followed afterwards is pretty much the worst case scenario there. Because again, they did a Legally Blonde montage in this movie. Because again, Legally Blonde, there's another one they stole from Charlie's Angels. They stole from like so many different movies that were good. And again, the shepherd's pie of a movie that they cobbled together. But the greatest part of that is that the outfits that they chose for the montage part were the most ridiculously offensive outfits. Like she came out and she had Whitney Houston hair.
Oh yeah, like a
circa 1988. And I'm like,
terrible.
What is happening?
We mentioned this in what was it, Miss Doubtfire, because he went through a similar like montage where he got dressed into completely different characters, like the girls did here, and you're like, you've now got to take time to take all those curls out or whatever, like straighten your hair. Like, you're just wasting more time. Just go to the end. I did want to ask,
and it was terrible.
With all the money that went into this movie, how much did the CGI dove costs when Andy Richter first opened up?
Holy good God! The John Woo doves.
I can't believe
it's like they took it right out of Face Off and plopped it into this movie. They took the CGI doves from Face Off and they put it right in this movie. I have no idea how much that cost. I have no idea how much the CGI of the hotel room thing cost, because that was actually filmed. It's just like a set. And it's all green screen, everything. They didn't actually put the two Nimrods up there. It was awkwardly. But no, I don't know how much but it accounted for a lot of budget. Like, there was a lot of money wasted on this movie. This movie was
the really exciting drone shot that introduced it at the very beginning.
Oh,
there
yeah,
were no drones.
Oh, yeah.
There were no drones back then. That was helicopter.
That helicopter
shit.
shot must have been a straight million of it, like flying all the way from
Paul
downtown
and I were
Manhattan.
sitting
Watching
watching it.
new technology. They
To
got
be
a
fair,
drone
if you're going to
in
make
it.
a
It's
movie,
first ever drone shot.
Paul and I were sitting at that on the couch, just watching it earlier today, and he looked at me and he went, "Well, that's a helicopter shot." And I'm like, "I know, right?" But it's funny. It just goes to show that people today now, any one of us can make a movie. Any one of us can make a movie because we have the cheap technology, like a drone shot that would have cost $100,000 because you had all sorts of safety equipment and helicopters and this, that, and the other thing there is now $5. And it's all on video. It's not on film anymore. So you don't even have to worry about film. It's all on HD video. So it's like the ability that we would have to make this film now, we could actually do it. I think we should do it. I think I should fly over there.
The same thing, like, oh my god, do we remake this movie?
Matt, you're twin girls. 17 years from now, we're going to make this movie again. We're going to do
17 years
a
to save up the budget.
Psycho shot-for-shot remake.
Oh, amazing.
I'm gonna have to put in. It's gonna have to be 18 years because I at least want to make sure that we're over the threshold. All right.
Oh yeah.
Well, we could do it. We could do it. We could. Ross is going to be Mary-Kate. Drew's going to be Ashley.
We will be
Matt
the
will be
body
Eugene
doubles for
Levy.
the girls for those scenes.
Yeah.
That's how we'll do it. Anytime there's a nude scene, it just
It's
changes
the all
to
bear version.
Yeah, just changes to a 40-year-old man. And then back
Changes
to
to
the
the
girls.
dad who goes to the camera. What are you fucking looking at? Turn away, motherfuckers.
Just a bunch of close-ups.
Oi, what's that, governor?
Oh, I like this idea.
Oh, we forgot about the racist.
The cockneyest of cockney. Oh, racist. Oh,
the racist
shit.
convenience store guy as well. When she eats for free.
Yeah.
And then he
No,
says,
there were
"Thank you,
three.
don't
There
come
were
again."
three colors of racism here. You had the Asian racism,
Yeah.
you had the South Asian racism, and you had the Black racism. It was a triumvirate.
They like to cover
trifecta of
every
races.
basis.
They really did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they make like
It was
to piss
America,
everyone
right?
off. So...
What do you mean that's wrong? What do you mean? What are you talking about? What?
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be fun.
It's funny. I'll tell you
We
the
hate
story
everyone. Vote Bush.
Yeah, vote Bush. Bush in the bush. So, no, I'll tell you what happened with that whole Big Cheryl's House of Bling shit. I remember my desk was basically outside all of the offices for the executive producers and things like that. So you can hear things that are going on, especially when the doors open. So they were having one of these story meetings that they had, midway through this piece of shit where they're trying to go, well, how can we make it even shittier? And so the one woman, she was an executive producer, white as hell. I mean, she's whiter than me, and I'm see-through. Like, that's how white I am. I can't go under fluorescence or I burn. That's how white I am. She's whiter than me. She had a little dog in a bag. That's how white she is. Okay? She was sitting there as they were talking this meeting, and they were talking about this particular scene, and her voice was like this. You know what I think would be amazing? I think it'd be incredible if when we're in Victor's House of Bling, it's all ghetto fabulous. And of course, the gaggle of geese in the room are all like, oh, that's a great idea. Oh, ghetto fabulosity, great idea. It took every fucking ounce of my being not to get up from my chair, walk over to the door, and said, excuse me, hi, excuse me, hi. Can I just ask any of you a question? Have any of you been in a fucking ghetto? I'm just wondering, have any of you, I don't know, skipped over the tracks there and gone to the ghetto? Because one thing I think the word that they don't use in the ghetto is fabulous, you fucking ignorant shithead. Just saying. I'm going to go back to my desk now. Bye.
this
Honestly,
movie.
I think, Drew, this is where I should tell that story that I told you.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
this is one of the. It's a story, I tell you.
This is a great story.
And one of my jobs at the production office was to record the outgoing message of the production office for the next filming day. And because you basically, there's a lot of intricacies there. You say this crew time is this crew time is that. You have this location, you get that location, blah, 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 blah. So I had a sheet of paper that I would just fill out the information in. And I would read from the sheet of paper what the outgoing message was. Most production offices in Toronto, almost like 99% of them worked on the regular Bell phone system where when you pressed a button, you just re-recorded the message. This particular office was different. It had its internal phone system, which was different from Bell. So that's a key point. It was in a different phone system. So I'm sitting there, and this was right before a long weekend, and I was actually going to have 3 full days off, and it had been months. And I'm sitting here, and I've written all my information down. Some people were going to be in there working on the Monday, so I had to make some adjustments in my script. So I start my script out, and I'm at the end of the day, and I pick up the phone. I'm like, "Thanks for calling the production office of New York Minute. You've son of a whore." So then I press the button to re-record it. I'm like, "Okay, hi, welcome to the production office of New York Minute. Call time for Monday." Oh, cocksucker! And anyway, when when you start screwing something up and you start screwing it up and you keep just screwing it up and screwing it up and it just keeps going bad. It went badly for about 10 to 15 more times until finally I went, "Yep, that's it. Boom, I've got it. It's fine. It's in the bag." I hang up the phone. I lock the door. I put on the alarm. Boop, boop, boop. I'm to my home. The next day, Chris, the producer, calls me, and she said, "Hey, Dave, how are you?" And I look at the phone. I'm like, "God damn it! Can I not escape this movie?" So I pick up the phone. And I said, "Oh, Chris, I'm fine. I'm great. How are you?" And she said, "Well, I'm doing okay. I'm wondering if you could do me a favor, though." Said, can you do me a favor? Can you call the production office and just listen to the message and then give me a call back? I said, "Sure thing, Chris." And I'm like, "Ah." And she goes, "By the way, I just wanted to let you know that the person who called me about this was the EVP in charge of production at Warner Brothers." And I'm like, "Called you about this? Okay, I'll call you right back." So I pick up the phone. I call the production office. It's like, "Hi, you've reached New York Minute." "Son of a whore!" "Hi, you've reached New York Minute." "Cocksucker!" And I listened to my voice get saltier and saltier with every single time that I screwed this asshole message up. 15 times. And on the 16th or whatever time it was, I finally got it all done. And I even sounded triumphant at the end of it. I was even like, yeah, you're like, when you get that, like that one kid meme where he's like,
crushed it.
I fucking nailed it. I'm going home now. Nothing else to do. I nailed this. So I'm sitting there and my face, I could just feel the color drain from my face because I'm now thinking that, the EVP in charge of production at Warner Brothers called her about this. Warner Brothers in Los Angeles, the big Warner Brothers, the one that does big, like tens of millions of dollar movies, not the shit that we do up here. Warner Brothers. So I call her back and I'm like, "Oh, fuck, Chris. Oh, fuck, Chris. Oh, fuck. I can't. And she goes, "Now calm down. Calm down. I wanted you to know that Mark thought it was one of the funniest things he'd ever heard in his life." He said, "Of course you've got to change it," but he said you've got to hold off an hour on doing it because he wanted the president of Warner Brothers to listen.
No.
Amazing.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to drive over to the production office because the production office was a good 30 minutes away from my house at this time. And so I drive over to the production office and I'm waiting. And finally get the go-ahead from Chris to do it. And so I listen to the messages. So I redo the message, but then I listen to the 60 to 75 messages that were left on this machine. And like, this went viral before viral was viral. It sort of went viral underground. Like I both wish and don't wish that there was a recording of this because if there were a recording, it would be hilarious to hear. But because it was me doing it, I don't want that notoriety. I don't want to be like the fat Star Wars kid. You know what I mean? Because that's what that would have been in this time, though. So there were people all over Toronto and Los Angeles calling into our production, listening to this message, and there were like groups of people. There was cheering at the end of one. One guy said, "Oh my God, thank you for that. We needed that on the set. It's been so fucking horrible." Like when I said 2003 was a terrible year for production, it really was. There was a bunch of nasty productions that were awful to work with. And so that's I basically swore blue words on the outgoing message of an Olsen Twins movie. Again, the Olsen Twins. This isn't like Batman, or anything like that. This is like 17-year-old girl movie, and I'm like, cocksucker.
I mean, it sounds like you actually saved Hollywood that year, so
I
think we owe you a massive thank
Single-handedly.
you for making sure that any movie came out that year.
Yeah.
Single-handedly. Thank goodness for me, otherwise we wouldn't have had this racist nonsense.
Indeed.
For 4.5 minutes.
Thank you.
I think it was 4.5 New York minutes that this was in the theater.
Yeah.
We've decided to take a break from acting. We're looking into going to NYU and things. No, are you looking to take a break?
Yeah.
Are we asking you to take a break from acting? I think so.
Yeah.
I say that. I said that this morning while I was taking a shit. Oh, I think I'm going to take a break to concentrate on this boob. Yeah.
Right. I think we should go around and ask for scores.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Drew, let's go with you. What would you give this out of 5?
1 Eugene Levy out of 5, purely for him because he's great, and I liked nothing else. Well, it's a 1.
Matt.
I'm going to give it 1 non-contextual dream sequence out of 5 because it happens once and I don't ever remember seeing another one. Just for some cinematography tropes in there, it gets a 1.
Andy.
I will give it. This movie gave me 2 genuine laughs. One, but I'm not going to give it a 2. Don't worry. One was again Eugene Levy because he's amazing, and the other is when when Jane and Roxy are given the speech at the end, and the couple who Eugene Levy meet earlier come in. I don't know why they come in, but they come in and they think it's a production of
They
Cats.
think it's Cats.
And they wait to the end of the speech and then start clapping going, that was amazing production.
Yeah.
Like, how do you still think it's Cats?
The husband goes,
they're American.
Give it up for the Cats. And I was like, I got a laugh out of that, to be fair. I did laugh when that line was delivered.
Oh, Eugene Levy steals their like little camper van. They're driving camper van and stuff, and he goes around a corner, and the wife kind of falls onto his shoulder, and in a completely Eugene Levy way, he just kind of looks at her and goes, "Could you give me some space?" And like it was a little, just like I'm sure it was like improvised and stuff. But again, he is absolutely the reason. If you're going to watch this movie, watch this movie.
He's the only reason to watch
Eugene
the
Levy.
movie, really.
Yeah. But our follow trend, because I think I don't want to give it anything lower than 1. Sorry, because I think I gave Top Gun 0.5, and I want to keep Top Gun as like one of my lowest. So
you gave Top Gun 0.5?
The first Top Gun.
Are you a homophobe? What the hell? Some of the sexiest volleyball scenes in the history of volleyball.
It was the way he walked into the woman's bathroom after the woman that kind of lost it for me. So I will. There's one other thing as well. I'll say I'm going to give it 1 memory card out of 5 because I swear it's not a microchip. It's a mic, and even the bad guy calls the Olsen Twins first and says, "Give me my chip back." No, mate, you should know that's a fucking memory card. Like, ruins it. How? They even have a shot of it like zooming in, and you're like, "That's a memory card. Why are you calling it a chip?"
With millions of dollars in pirated, 100 megabytes of pirated videos, because again, I don't know, you guys were a lot younger in 2003. I was still an old fart, but I can remember the little SD cards and things like that you would get back then. They were literally like 128 megs.
Yeah.
So what are you fitting on this? The Simple Plan video. Oh.
If that, like, this was the era of MP3 players that could hold one album. And it's like, whoa, I've got one whole album on this thing that's like 6 inches long. Anyway, sorry, Ross.
No, actually, no. 2003 was when the iPod was released.
Holy shit!
But they're still trying to pirate CDs and DVDs and stuff.
No, but that's why I said it's the age of Napster and LimeWire. Like, are you out of your mind? What a ridiculous business model. Like, I don't think the underground's going to make a lot of cheese on this.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of DVD. Oh, DVD pirated on the side of the road.
Yeah, that was stupid. Dave, what do you think out of 5?
5. It was brilliant. I'll watch it again and again. It was much better than Cats.
Oh,
You know the funny
It
thing
is better than
Wow.
Cats. It is better
Is
than
it?
Cats.
But diarrhea is better than
Yeah,
Cats.
to be
let's
fair,
face
it's
it.
better than Cats.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Watching a child get shit on from above a roof, that's better than Cats. I would watch that over and over again. Oh, maybe you should move, kid. Oh, no, there you got shat on again. That's hilarious. I gotta rewind that. I don't want to see James Corden's CG'd out penis, thanks.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
and by the way, fuck each and every one of you for James Corden. I'm just saying that. Fuck
we
each and every
didn't
one
tell
of you.
him to go to you.
You did that.
We wanted to get rid of him. You just took him in. It's more your fault than ours.
But the guy who played the husband on the 4x4, whatever the hell, the RV, John Hemphill's his name. He actually has been part of the SCTV, and Andrea Martin, Eugene Levy, like they all worked together for like 40 years. In fact, John Hemphill's in Schitt's Creek with Eugene Levy in that.
That's why I
played,
recognized him.
Yeah. But if you watch SCTV from back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, you'll see him in there too. He's he's worked with them for years. The greatest part of being on this show, though, was meeting Eugene Levy and Andrea Martin. That was the greatest part of it, because I have grown up Canadian watching them since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And Eugene Levy and John Candy used to do movies together. Like, they were such a big part of my growing up experience. And then to have them in front of me. And the first thing I did was I looked at each one of them when they walked in, and you'd think I'd say SCTV or something like that. And I just said, nope, I went Cannibal Girls. And Eugene Levy actually got shocked, and he looked at me and goes, how in the hell do you even know that exists? And I'm like, are you kidding? Cannibal Girls. Ivan Reitman's first film, 1973, one of the most brilliant improv films of all time. And there's Eugene Levy and Andrea Martin working in that together in 1973. So these guys have known each other for decades.
Half a decade.
And
Half a
super
century.
nice. And I went out to dinner with Andy Richter one night. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah. He seems
6 foot-
apart from this movie, he seems fine. I've seen him
No,
in, like,
super
other
nice
things
guy. I'm
and-
sure that he's embarrassed by this movie, because I think one of the main thing that this movie does, though, is that it really does put up a mirror as to shit you could get away with less than 20 years ago that you could not get away with today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
We've
This
done
whole
a couple
movie
of
is
them
that.
movies, haven't we, boys?
Yeah, I was going to say
We
80%
have.
of this movie would have to be rewritten. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
rewritten. And I don't know what they'd write for it, because they already had all the good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Go on then, Ross.
But no, I would give it a 1. If I
give it
could
a
give
1.
negative integers, then I would. But
You can go lower than
but I
1
think 1
if you
just-
want.
Yeah.
0.
I don't
Yeah.
want to, because then that means that 8 months of my life was shit, and I don't want to admit that. So I'm going to give it a 1. There was
Okay.
some value there.
It's good to know Eugene
Uh,
Levy is nice, though, in real life and stuff.
Yeah.
Super nice guy, but very subdued.
Oh, I
Like,
can imagine.
like
yeah.
they're not. He's not. Hi, look at me, I'm
Yeah,
Eugene. Like,
yeah.
he's very, like, if you were to walk past him on the street, I mean, you'd recognize him, but it wouldn't, like, because he's
Yeah.
not that guy.
if I
He's
ever
just a
walk,
normal guy
if I ever walk past
with the
him, I'm gonna be
hairiest
like,
back of all time.
New
Yeah.
York Minute. And he'd be like,
New York,
"Fuck you."
yeah, that's when I.
Come running after me with his fist raised. Just, fuck you, get out of here.
But he absolutely chewed the scenery with what he had.
Yeah.
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 He was there
That's it.
100%,
Best
and I
part
got to
of the
give it to him.
movie. So,
Totally.
Ross, what was your score, mate?
I am going to give it 0.1 fake dogs out of 5 because the 0.1 is literally only I would give it a 0 if I could, but I won't. I'll give it a 0.1 purely for Eugene Levy. He doesn't push it up for a 1 for me, because this deserves to be put into a landfill like E.T. the Atari game and never found again. All the copies of it
Yes.
fit in a landfill, and then never spoke of ever again. Yeah,
there was a
So there we have
slight
it.
They did an archaeological dig on that. They actually found those.
yeah,
I
did.
saw that documentary
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's like finding E.T.
Yeah,
Um,
no, they
They
actually
found
so-
out
they
it's like
took
the
the
Ark of
time
the
to dig that
Covenant.
up.
Everyone's like, look away, look away.
Yeah,
Guys.
Yeah.
I have momentous
I remember that
news.
game. I remember that game when it came out.
yeah.
No, I'm not ready for it.
This is officially our lowest rated movie that we have done out of 50 normal episodes and a whole bunch of spoiler casts, coming out at an average of 0.82 out of 5. Instantly bumping up Home Sweet Home Alone from the lowest position to actually having quite a healthy lead.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
So
really, Home Sweet Home
completely about that movie.
Home Sweet Home Alone, the newest one. It was absolutely.
Excuse me,
dreadful.
I ordered a steak. Why did you deliver me this abortion? I'm not exactly sure what I'm to do with this. Because that's what that movie was.
It was sad.
Talk about the abortion debate. That's what actually sparked it again, was that movie. As British people, do you ever get offended as British people when they put a British child in something like that movie, as if to make it a little bit more
creepier?
zesty? I don't know what the fuck.
We're just we're used to being the bad guys and the creepy people. Like, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
John Lithgow in Cliffhanger, when he's all British at the end, he's like, "Do you know what love is? Sacrifice." It's like, oh Jesus. I'm sorry, your New England accent wasn't bad enough.
Creepy
You had to be
enough.
like, "Hello, I'm John Lithgow."
So,
And by the way, Cliffhanger, that's a much better movie than this.
It is.
yeah, that's true. So that is it for our.
I want to see her
review
some good
of
sequel pitches.
bumper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's time for
that was
sequel
our
pitches.
bumper review of. It's time for our sequel. Let's hope that our sequels are better than the original. I'm pretty sure they are going to be. So I think it's time to get your sequels pitched. So the rules are simple. You have to win over Dave in your pitch. Dave might have some questions, but actually I think probably it's best to just argue it out at the end. Dave, who do you want to go first to listen to?
Ross, why don't we go with you, because you're vaping at a intense. I feel for your lungs.
The only thing is, Dave,
you millennials, you don't know what that shit is.
It's
sucking it in.
It's just metal going in your lungs. It won't hurt me. It's fine.
It's fine. I got it from me friend.
You
Everyone
swallowing
does.
the vape?
He got
So
me something that I can
haven't-
put in my mouth and swallow some stuff and then blow it out.
Yeah. I like to put things in my mouth.
I wish I didn't have so much experience with this. Let's go Matt first, I think. Matt.
Go on,
You
then,
look
Matt.
tired
What's
as shit. You've got twins.
Thanks, man.
Man,
I'm going to
what's the
take 20
title?
minutes after my pitch.
Yeah. What's the title of your movie and your blurb?
My title of my movie is New York Minute, New Year's Eve. And the blurb is, the twins, both successful, head back to New York for their birthday celebrations, and to celebrate New Year's Eve as well. Why not?
Their 18th birthday celebration.
I'll make him like 35. Like, let's keep it to the, I don't know, however
So
old
they're
the
well
Olsen
worn
twins
by now, is
actually
what you're
are.
saying.
I don't even know how old they are anymore. But can they learn to work together again to escape their fate?
I'm going to predict yes. Unless this goes really dark.
Mic drop. No. Okay, so we see polarizing opening montage of the two women getting ready for a day in their life. A little bit too much flesh on show, just like the first movie. Eventually, we realize the confident, eccentric one is actually Jane, who's now a senator. Why not? Republican. And Roxy, the rock star, she's suddenly weirdly neat and somewhat OCD. We hear through some kind of chats with nobodies that the two personalities changed loads as fame and success fell into their laps. They kind of remain close. There's an air of indifference about them, though. Nonetheless, they decide with some friends that they're going to go to New York and they're going to have a big New Year's Eve party and they're going to celebrate their birthday, because I decided they're born around New Year's Eve. All goes well until Roxy's recognised by a creepy fan, feeling a little bit inspired by the conversation Dave's been having with us. He basically begins stalking him, but it turns out he's probably not a fan, but actually some dodgy criminal who recognises Roxy and wants to ransom her. Then he discovers that her famous Republican senator twin who's out on the lash in New York. She's there as well. So then he's struck gold. He's got double the win. They're both kidnapped by a bunch of thugs in a van because the senator isn't got a security detail, apparently. One of the goons is a big fan, though, of Roxy, and then you can insert some comedy one-liners here. Basically, they use all their charm and their skills and their street smarts.
So very, very small amount of stuff, really.
It is. It's a lot. I'm throwing it at you quick here. They use their street smarts to escape, capture later on somehow, and they go on the run. Jane calls the dude from the movie who leaves her once she becomes too wild and is somehow a senator as well. He's reluctant to help, but he does live in New York City. So they meet up. There's some weird
Wait, hold on.
Yeah?
Question. Senator? Yeah. What party?
Oh, Republican. She's definitely Republican.
No, the other guy, was he also a senator? Didn't you just
no. So he can't deal with the fact that she's Republican and all senatory, but she's also like a wild child. It's a real juxtaposition. It's really there to challenge the norm. You know, I'm really throwing out some crazy ideas here. A very calm rock star and a very wild Republican senator. But yeah, they get together at the end. He saves her life, probably like jeopardizes his own, takes a bullet in the toe or something. Anyway, they hunker down. They think of a plan to get out, to get away from the baddies and to get the baddies off their back. Basically, it's double jeopardy. Jane pretends to be Roxy, whilst Roxy does something rock and roll, like go to the police and explain what's happening. You know, the writers could determine that with some rewrites. Sounds like they do a lot of edits. So, yeah. Anyway, in the end, the twins are saved after using personality traits to their top effect. The baddies are arrested. Jane and the guy get back together. Nearly everyone lives happily ever after, apart from some stuffed toy animal that's meant to be alive. Gets thrown out the window, just like the first one, homage to one of the key scenes. But this time it misses the ledge. Everyone's, what happens?
Sort of like the first time.
Stories. It's gonna die. It's gonna die. But it lands in a litter net, and then there's some like real jeopardy getting the animal out of the litter net.
Litter net. What is that?
Those nets that hang over the glass ceiling.
Suicide nets.
I say litter net. It's probably
or suicide, right?
Suicide net.
Yeah.
So is this film?
Just throw it out of the window and it'll catch in the litter net. Don't worry about that.
Is this filmed at the Chinese apple factories?
I mean, we're in New York, but we could always move it to China if we want to go crazy. Chinese New York.
I think it'd be good. I think maybe Benny Bang is working at the Apple.
He's in one of the nets, just decomposing.
He is. He's just.
Change up Chinese New Year. We're celebrating Chinese New Year now.
Did they actually use the word? Did they actually use the thing "ancient Chinese secret" in this movie?
I
think they did.
No.
I think that he said ancient Chinese secret.
If they did, I blanked it out.
Oh my god, so goddamn racist.
Yeah, because he says ancient Chinese saying like a couple of times, like don't get in a car, don't trust a stranger, and ancient Chinese remedy or racecipe or something. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, ancient racist. And then you hear the bong in the background because that happened too.
Yep.
The Asian music in the background. Wow.
So bad.
You can just imagine the person. Do you know what'd be really funny right here?
You'd get away with
Asian music.
Because we're in China.
That'd be awesome. So Matt, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much nudity is in this?
I feel like I mean, we can go 9 out of 10 now because they're in their 30s or whatever. So like,
they're a little bit slappier
we're really
now,
retapping the stalker market.
I have to tell you, Matt, I like that. That's some good thing, especially how you created their birthday for them too. You added to the canon, is what I'm saying.
Thanks, man. Yeah, really thought deep about how we could move these characters forward.
Oh, it's deeper.
Yeah,
that's right.
All right, Dave. Who next?
Oh, Andy.
Oh, yes.
Right. Me. All right, here we go. Right.
This better be a sexy one too. There better be like
there's some
it better be like an HBO show. It's the boys with the hero-gasm.
Oh God! Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. So I come to you with a number of titles as I normally do, Dave. I've got New York Minute 2, Hell. New York Minute 2, Tick, 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 Doom. New York Minute 2, the next Mary-Kate Ashley cash grab, or New York Minute 2, Apocalypse. But I quite like Tick, 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 Doom.
Yeah, I think that one's cool. I think we should go with that
my blurb is, Roxy is on tour with her band and her manager, Sister Jane, but before they get to their new show, they have to save the world one more time.
Are you going to explain what happened to Jack Osborne? Because you just completely wiped him out of the movie. What the hell?
Oh, maybe people will come back later. So,
Okay. Maybe. He's all salty because he's no longer the manager of this epic band.
Well, they are epic because Roxy and the band are practicing, and it's like one of those like 90s sitcoms where they're in like a garage and they're practicing. And we find out the girls married the boys, can't remember their names, but they found out more than just their first name. Married them, they're all happy. Roxy's band is making it big. Jane quit her job to spend more time with her sister and now is their band manager. And they're just about to go on tour. Everyone's all happy, and then suddenly the garage gets fucking shot at and is riddled with bullets. The twins
and everyone's dead, and it's 5 minutes.
This is in the first, this is after the end opening credits. There's bullets everywhere. The twins dive to the floor. Everyone's dead. The band's dead. The boyfriends are dead. There's blood everywhere. The garage door then gets kicked in, and it's Andy Richter, who's out of jail, and he says he's working for a new boss. Roxy
Richter
takes out her drumsticks like in the first one, but Andy Richter isn't fucking about this time, and he pulls his shirt off, and we would have paid him to go on the superhero diet, so he's fucking Jack now.
And of course, he's got all the tattoos from prison on his body.
Oh yeah. He's got like
Yakuza tattoos
chest.
because
Yeah, he goes to attack the girls, but just before he gets run over by a car, and the car in the garage then starts doing donuts and stuff, and then there's smoke everywhere, and out of the smoke is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He steps out, and he's shirtless. He'll be shirtless the whole movie, and he fights up this jacked up Andy Richter. The Rock thinks he's one. He thinks he's killed Andy Richter, and he drives away. Little nod to Terminator, trying to copy whatever the first film did. The Rock then tells the girls that he works for the FBI, and since 2004, the Chinese underground DVD and CD establishment has changed. It's basically gone bigger, and that's to say, it's the mafia now. And they're under a new mysterious boss because old adopted Ma is still in jail. The mafia broke out Andy Richter, and they implanted him with an experimental army microchip and programmed him to kill the twins as revenge. We then have a car chase as Andy Richter has caught up, and everyone's like, what the fuck? We thought he killed him. Nah, look, he's still alive. And then him and The Rock are battling on top of the cars, on top of each car, one standing on each. And so one of the twins has to dive into Andy Richter's car and drive. And this is, we can have a joke about Jane going, I still haven't learned my license. Oh! They get away, and then they realise to end this once and for all, they have to bring down the Chinese mafia. So they realise they need something that can bring them down, and they find, the clue or something that can bring them down. They go on a few quest missions to find this and meet new characters, and we can have some cameos from like the staple 2004 celebrities like Melissa Joan Hart. No, I don't
Bob
remember
Saget is
either.
available, I think. Oh.
She tells them information, and then they fly to Germany, and they get a sacred book that holds the answers to what they seek. When they get there, they learn it was all a setup. Oh, how can they believe such nonsense? And the gang have to fight their way out of trouble. One of the goons drops something that leads to the next clue, and when they get there, they're all knocked out. And then when they wake up, they have bags taken off. They're all tied up. Mary-Kate Ashley, The Rock. And then the new leader of the mafia is revealed, and it's Jack Osborne. And yes, he's all pissed off. How did you guess that he was fired as the band manager, and he's come out for revenge, and now he's taken off the mafia?
I feel like that's the only way.
Of course, that's the only thing he would do. He takes one of the twins. It doesn't really matter who, the left one, and brainwashes her to be evil, and tells her to fight her sister to the death. There's a fight, and it looks like the brainwashed twin will kill the other one. But the normal one saves the brainwashed one with the power of sisterly love. Then, as they are running to freedom, The Rock fights Andy Richter, and this is where we learn the backstory. Richter actually used to work for the FBI and was partnered with The Rock's dad, but then betrayed him and killed him and joined the mafia. The twins kill Jack Osborne, and then the building explodes in a big fiery explosion. Out of the rubble, Mary-Kate, Ashley, and The Rock pull their heads up, and they're like, "Oh, it's all right, we're fine." The Rock then says to Roxy, "It's a shame about your band. Your band has died, and you only had one gig, and you only had one gig left." But then that's when The Rock says, "You know what? I play guitar.
Oh God!
I'll just finish the tour with you guys." And we can have
Do you remember when I took those
montage.
lessons?
Yeah,
Wow,
and then,
they're finally going to pay
Jenny,
off.
Actually goes, "You know what? I've secretly been learning bass this whole time as well." And we end with a montage of them, headlining Wembley.
Wow.
I forgot they were in New York.
No, but you took them all over. No, you see, what you did there was what I like to call the James Bond. You like to experience the world as you're killing people. It's very good.
Exactly.
It was very good. Lots of action, but again, 1 to 10, how much nudity?
Well, The Rock's shirtless the whole way, and then when he comes out of the rubble at the end, he'd just be in his pants because everything would have.
Yeah, but
come
that's
away.
a normal thing. That's his everyday
That's
thing.
normal.
So
That's
that doesn't
normal, I
even
guess.
count.
Yeah. Like the girls, we could there be. I can there be there.
How many slappies and or flappies will there be?
Oh, I'm gonna de-age him. This is like 6 months after the first one. So...
Oh, okay. It's not quite
No,
the meat curtain yet, is what you're saying.
I might, or maybe can I age him up? Can I put him up for like 10 years?
It's like when you lift the skirt up, it's like there's a bag of cow tongues. I don't understand it.
David!
It doesn't make sense.
David!
It makes this noise when they walk. Is that wrong? See, this is the thing. When I said I was coming on your thing, I'm like, they don't even swear really on their podcast. I feel because they're going to experience me, and I have no filter, none whatsoever, because I don't give a shit. So
We'll just
when you've embalmed people, you just don't care.
I'm really looking forward to putting an enormous content warning at the beginning of an episode about an Olsen Twins movie. I think that's comedy gold from the first moment.
Oh, that's going to look really dodgy.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like it's fitting for our 50th episode.
Yeah.
Uncensored.
Yeah. I like that Andy's giving Andy Richter some fucking work after however long. I like that. I like it. Was good.
Yeah. And I'm going to jack him up as well. He's going to go on the superhero night.
Yeah.
He's going to have something to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's going to be like all jacked Andy.
Just all jacked.
He's
He's
Yeah.
like 6 foot. He's 6'2" or 3" too. Like he's a tall guy.
Is he? Bloody hell.
So imagine if he got beefed up.
Yeah, he looked funny.
He just grabbed somebody by the head.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Super nice guy though.
Oh yeah, no. You said about so the Olsen Twins as well. I can imagine. You know that really just bad thing they do. Like they have someone dress smart, like look really elegant, but like be like quote unquote really sexy and slutty. That's what I can imagine this film to be like. Oh, she's like a senator. Well, she's not, but she's got like nice clothes on, but it's like cut down all the way, and you're just like no reason, just for people like
boy.
you.
That was excellent. I would watch that movie.
Thank you.
That's a movie I would pay $30 to see. Yes.
It would
Because
make
that's how much it costs for a movie.
$30 to make as well. So
Yes.
Yeah.
So Drew.
Drew, you've got a lot
I've
to
been
live
waiting
up
for
to
yours.
now.
Yeah, I have. I'm
Go for
really
it.
gutted that I'm going after Andy's because I can't. Mine is just nowhere near as insane as Andy's. I really enjoyed that. So mine is going to be called NYM, and the synopsis is: when their 2004 movie New York Minute is rediscovered by the public, and Mary-Kate and Ashley, along with their sister, face an extreme backlash from the public for making such a goddamn racist movie, Elizabeth Olsen has to go on a journey to rehabilitate the image of her sister's final movie.
amazing.
So
That bastard.
full meta. Like, I was thinking like adaptation, they're playing heightened versions of themselves. I wanted to do just a bonkers action movie, and then this idea appeared in my head, so here we go. So it begins, someone finds a dusty old DVD case like under the sofa, and someone shouts, "Aren't these two the Scarlet Witch's sisters?" And we see the cover, and it's New York Minute. The person and their friends all laugh, say they should watch the movie because it's like, it'll be nostalgic, it's so bad it's good. It starts a montage, and we see social media feeds appearing out of the blackness with people saying, "You have to watch this movie." Like, and it looks like it's getting a really good reception. And then all of a sudden, crash zoom, everyone's saying how awfully, horribly racist this movie is, and it's going viral, and it's dreadful. We cut to Jonah Hill as Elizabeth Olsen's PR manager, and he calls Elizabeth in, and he's like, right, I need you. We've been trying to get hold of your sister's representation. They can't get hold of them. Like, they need to come out and make a statement because it's impacting your future jobs. Like, you're not Scarlet Witch at the moment, so we need you to get a hold of your sisters. She tries calling them, they don't pick up. So Elizabeth has to go on a road trip to find them. So she starts off, she was in New York. That's where her PR manager is. And she just goes on this series of increasingly bizarre, like wild, outlandish, kind of Lynchian encounters with all of the other members of the cast that we can get in, as she tries to sort of get quotes for them to put into this video that the girls will release or something like that. She meets Andy Richter in New York. They have a big conversation about the racism in the movie, and he gets to apologize for that. She heads across country. She finds a bunch of Gen Z fans. When her car breaks down, she has to stay on a university campus, and we get the kind of heightened Gen Z perspective on, like, all media from more than 5 years ago is absolutely horrifying, and content warning should be on everything, and all of that kind of stuff. We then, she moves on, she finds Eugene Levy. They discuss the policing situation in America. We bring up the fact that he played a corrupt cop in the movie, and Eugene gets to talk about career resurgence and his experience of being kind of a mid-tier celebrity after American Pie, and then with his career picking up more recently, and Liz becoming more famous than her sisters. And then finally she gets to her sisters. We have the big meet-up, the return of Mary-Kate and Ashley, the first time they're on screen. They're only in it for the last, like, 10 minutes of the movie. The twins talk about their experiences of, like, living through a countdown to turning 18, and it's all kind of heightened, and you get as much comedy as you can out of it, but you make it like, man, this was horrible for them. They were 17-year-old kids trying to make a movie, and it got slated, and like, their younger sister is kind of becoming a bit more famous than them, and they all have a big cry and a hug, and then they come together to do an Instagram live video, of course. They address the changing landscape of film and people being annoyed at content warnings, but being sensitive, and everyone needs to be kind and be nice. And then we end it with a montage showing just how wildly successful the Olsen twins have actually been, and how fabulously wealthy they are from all of their fashion endeavors. And that's the movie.
Hey.
Wow.
But they don't apologise for being racist bastards. I didn't hear an apology in there. Calling it now. There's no apology. They stand by their lads.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how many safe spaces are in your movie, Drew?
I mean, probably just the one on the university campus somewhere in the Midwest.
You have to offer me a safe space and a therapy dog. That's, you know, I like that, but I think I like mine the best, even though I won't pick mine. You see, mine I like to call New York Minute 2 Electric Boogaloo. This time it's personal.
Excellent.
And it actually revolves around a different set of characters altogether. You see, Sarah Connor 10 years ago was visited by a machine from the future known as a Terminator. And the Terminator came back in time and, like, you know, killed all of her friends and everything. And she one-upped the Terminator. So now she has a 10-year-old boy named John. And John is a little shit, and he's in foster care, right? So he's got a couple of foster parents that sort of like go, what the fuck? He's got a redhead kid with a mullet, you know, who's like super cool, obviously, because redheads, I can tell you from experience, being a ginger myself, are super fucking cool. So they fly over to, you know, and in the meantime, you have a couple of these glowing orbs, you see, and like naked men come out of the glowing orbs. And so they go, and one naked man is the good guy. One naked man is the bad guy. So the naked man who's the bad guy, he's like all sexy cop guy. Although if you see him now, he doesn't look like that. But back in the day, he's sexy cop guy. So he's going to the mall. He's all like, hey, kids, I'm a cop. You can trust me. Have you ever seen this kid? You ever seen this kid? Anyway, redheaded ginger plays the wingman and says, no, fuck, I don't know that kid. And then he runs over to his friend John. He says, John, holy shit, 5-0, right? So they got to run out of there. Suddenly the big monster comes, and he's the bad guy from the first time. But now he's the good guy, and he's like, "Come with me, you want to live," right? And he takes the gun, he shoots the guy, and he keeps shooting him. And it's that movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger always films at that same mall. So it's like the same mall as Commando. It's the same mall. So this is where that mall is, right? So there's a whole bunch of shit that happens. Like there's a lot of action shit that happens, but by the end, the bad guy is melted, as is the good guy, so that none of the good guy's parts can be saved. How's that for a sequel to this movie?
Holy shit.
Because I figured that since they stole everything from this movie from other movies, we may as well just steal the friggin' sequel.
I'd only have one change.
Yeah.
The good guy and the bad guy have to be the Olsen twins, but like male, right? I mean, it's still got to be an Olsen twin movie. I feel like we're missing the crux of the sequel here.
Oh, no, they're not in it. It's just, we're just stealing the movie and putting it on with the New York Minute, It's not even in New York. Like, that's the thing. The movie makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But the good thing about it is you don't have to see the first movie to enjoy the second.
It's true.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm sorry. I was sitting there like going, can I make this funny? Because it's kind of dumb, but yeah, I guess I can make it funny. Okay.
I like the commitment. The commitment was great. I was waiting for you to go the whole movie, honestly.
I didn't want to make the episode like 3 hours long because I could really go into the entire movie and go into all the nuance and shit. Joe Morton sitting there with like I can do all that, but I'm not going to do that. So. But now comes the hardest choice of all. Who do I give the rose to?
We give the guys a little moment to argue.
So guys, argue amongst yourselves. Which one of you did better?
I mean, I feel like there's a reason that Andy can't win, and there's quite a simple reason. That Andy fights Machine Andy Richter, beats him numerous times, and then gets knocked out later in the film. What the fuck can knock that guy out? Like, that isn't believable. It's absolutely not a believable movie.
Did I say he got knocked out? Like, I meant his battery ran out, so he had to get recharged.
Yeah, that makes sense.
God, now you've just introduced a whole new character flaw because you never mentioned he was on batteries before. So
he's on batteries, on Wi-Fi.
That doesn't really fit. Well, that's why I feel like mine is absolutely the best one to choose, but it's really not. I want to take myself out the running for this week. I actually just want to say that Drew and Andy have got some fantastic sequels. I don't want to see mine in the cinema, so I'm out.
Matt, I like yours though because you could have the totally. You could have that moment that what the hell is that British movie about love and December and
Love Actually.
Love Actually.
In it.
Yeah.
Love Actually. You can have that total Love Actually moment because it's New Year's Eve, right? So you can have like. Suddenly the guy from Walking Dead shows up and he's got the cue cards and shit. just out of nowhere.
He's in the van.
I think that'd be awesome.
He's the stalker guy. He's the stalker guy.
Yeah, there you go.
What's
his name? Andrew something or other?
Andrew Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln.
It's funny that Matt just said that he wanted to take himself out of the running because I was about to say exactly the same thing. I was like, look, I think full disclosure, this pitch. I wrote this pitch in like the 20 minutes before we recorded. I've forgotten to take my anti-anxiety meds for the last 4 days, and so I've been having some wacky side effects until I realised. So been a little bit behind on my pitching, and I'm quite proud of my pitch. This movie does not deserve a sequel that got as much thought as I put into it in that 20 minutes. I'm proud of it. I like it. I think it could be an interesting meditation on the state of reevaluating movies. No, Andy should win.
I feel like Drew, you can't knock. Why are we suddenly bigging each other up? Like for me, I feel like Drew's is like this is the end, but
yeah,
where everyone just plays themselves and they're slightly eccentric versions of themselves.
Drew's feels more like a documentary though, rather than a sequel. I do like so yours is called NYM.
NYM.
Yeah, yours is called New York 2. New York Minute 2, New York Minute.
No, it's just called NYM. So so people will get confused and call it NIM and think it's a sequel to that mouse movie.
Ah, clever. And then they put it in, and they're like, oh, I've just wasted all my money. Oh.
God,
Yeah,
damn it,
it's
these are
fine.
Olsen twins.
It was a bit like a documentary.
I was paying for mice and I get Olsen twins.
Yeah.
Shit.
we could have put some things in. I was expecting when the people started to rewatch New York Minute, and then we had a montage. I thought it was going to come back, and everyone's going to be like they've just seen The Ring, and their faces are all fucked up and stuff, and they're on the floor.
And everything is wet. Everything is wet too. Just everything is wet.
Why is everything wet? Yeah.
So damp.
Because The Ring, it's like that toilet water that you came out of.
TV's broke. There's water on the floor, and you guys are fucked up. What the fuck happened?
It's New York Minute 2. That's what happened. By the way, Drew, good for you. You did your pitch in 20 minutes. That's pretty much how long it took them to write this movie.
I expect so. Thank you.
All right, Dave. The choice is yours. All right.
I have to say, Andy, I'm going to give it to you. But not because both Matt and Drew decided to puss out and say, no, not mine. I don't want to be associated with this. Call me Alan Smithy. But I just felt like there was an excitement there. There was a shirtless Andy Richter who's jacked.
And shirtless The Rock, yeah.
And The Rock as well. And you know what? There may be some kissing there because he's in the Fast and the Furious movies. And as we all know, that's basically edited gay porn. So, yeah. Andy, you're the winner.
Yay! Andy
tick,
is our winner.
Tick,
I would say you have to change the title to Tick Tick Tomb number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, 2. Oh.
The look on your face on the back.
Somehow.
You were so happy with that. That was awesome. Actually, it's called. It's called Tick Tick Tomb. Oh.
Oh God.
So this week, Andy is our winner. Andy, what are we going to be doing next episode? In episode 51 of Sequel Pitch, what movie are we going to pitch? The choice is yours.
Now, we have a free slot this week, so
we have to pretend for the audience that we pick them live every week, even though we keep pretending that we do that, but also telling them that we don't.
So this one I thought about for about a month, I'll be honest.
It's a podcast of lies.
I've got 2 choices, but no, podcast of lies. I have an interesting one for you. I am a big fan of I Am Legend, the book, not the film. The film had a disastrous ending, but I am picking I Am Legend 2, and you can either pick the good ending, which is I think the alternate ending on the DVDs, or you can pick the crappy cinematic version. The choice is yours, but I Am Legend 2 is...
There's no choice. There's absolutely no choice.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna amend that. You could only do the alternative version. Because fuck the cinematic version, which they redid because they were like the focus audience. I think was like, oh, it's too depressing.
No.
No, you've got to do it.
You can't
where...
have anything depressing in the States. Oh.
Everything's to be happy, even though he sacrifices himself at the end. But no, I Am Legend alternative ending.
Okay.
Very nice. So that is what we are going to be doing next episode on Sequel Pitch in episode 51. So all that's left now is to say thank you for listening to this bumper 50th episode. We are on socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If you think someone else should have won, let us know on Twitter. And also, we have a very special thing as well. We have a Patreon now. So if you enjoy our podcast and if you like us, then head on down to our Patreon at Sequel Pitch. Just search it, patreon.com/Sequel Pitch. There you go.
/Sequel
do the work
pitch.
yourself.
Yeah. And
I'll put it in the episode notes.
Join us and become a pitchy, a sequel pitch.
You can become our second patron.
Yeah. We need a term for our
pitch pals.
We do. We need a term for our fans.
Pitch pal.
Pitch bitch.
Pitch
Yeah.
Pitch Pals. Pitch Pals. That's a good one. If you want to become a Pitch Pal, then head on down to our Patreon. So it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Drew.
Goodbye, everybody.
It's goodbye from Matt.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from our special guest, Dave.
Oh, goodbye. Woo! And I hope that my, Drew, I'll send you all my links and everything. Maybe people can look it up.
Yes, sorry, I didn't
notes.
Actually do that. That was my bad.
It's fine. You rat bastard. It's fine.
Just do it now. We'll put it in.
Let us know where we can find you,
pragmatic,
Dave.
and
that'd be great. No, it's fine. You do. Where can we find you, Dave?
I'm in Canada. And, no, we're just disturbingly pragmatic is the name of our podcast, and it's I'll even send you a couple of clips of the show, so maybe you can tack it on the end. Who knows?
I will do.
So that people can actually go, oh, so that's what they sound like. Yeah, I'll send you some funny ones, not the crap that we usually do. And but we're disturbingly pragmatic at most of the socials, except for Twitter, which is DP with DP, and that's
very nice.
Double penetration. That's what we were going for.
He went there.
So listen to them guys.
I did.
Follow them, and yeah.
No, it's funnily enough that's the Olsen Twins nickname.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, David! David!
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Edit it out. Just edit it out. I'm terrible.
I will
You
not.
made it so close without. You made it so close. Just near the end.
Look, they're 35 now. I can say it. Okay.
Yeah.
They've had some wear on the tread. So.
And it's goodbye from our winner.
Just say it, Andy. Just do us all a favour.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye. Yeah. Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh god.
What a
Bye,
treat.
everyone.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Sorry, guys. I hope that wasn't too gross.
No, that was fabulous.
I used to watch Casper all the time.
Casper, the friendly boy, until he got in that van.
Oh my god.
That was
good,
dark.
babe.
That was dark. That was right off the top of my head.
That took me by surprise.
It took Casper's by surprise too. And his parents and family.
Would you like some candy, little boy?
Well, sure, I'm friendly. Uh-oh.
I got a Tootsie Pop for you.
Oh my God. I can't believe we're making
How
these
many
jokes.
licks does it take to get to my center?
And one thing that may not exist in the straight male-female relationship, i.e. the real enjoyment of a fart, a good fart, a fart that one can enjoy with one's partner, maybe that doesn't exist in as many female-male relationships. But I know, sure shit, in a male-male relationship, that is always an appreciated trait. I've appreciated that one time, and it is a story that I will tell until my dying day, when I looked across at your body at 3:00 in the morning, and you gracefully, like a jumping gazelle,
Oh my god.
like a ballerina, like a synchronized swimmer, if you will, threw your leg up into the air and let rip the loudest ass-clappy fart 3 motherfucking a.m. in the... And when I say that had a pungent soupçon...
Oh my god. You were so...
Oh my god. It's not like not every single person on the planet hasn't had a poop accident in their life. Because I guarantee you, even the Queen has shit her pants at one point.
I'm sure.
Even the Queen, while wiping, has gone through.
Oh my god.
Maybe on purpose.
Oh my god.
Are you excited? Did you get a boner?
That was...
I was going for boners. Did it work?
I was disturbed.
Are you disturbed at the thought of a 95-year-old flicking her bean? Do you think it's a bean, or would it be more like a pimento at that point?
What?
I don't know. Would it be a caper?
Oh my...
95.
Cashew.
It's actually a small penis, dear.